Any updates, I guess, on Chad and Lamar?
Yeah, I mean, both of them got through practice yesterday fine and were able to participate full out in practice today. Excuse me. So, I think they're both fine.
It's been, I guess, close to a couple months for guys like Parsimane and Lowe. You mentioned maybe Lowe in a couple months might be able to start getting on the field. I guess how are they kind of doing with the long term?
Yeah, they're both ahead of schedule. Lowe's surgery involved a little bit more than originally anticipated, so that's why the timeline was pushed back a little bit. But both of them, I was checking with Randy today. He's working with both. They're both ahead of schedule. Parsimane's ready to start running. He's just waiting for the doctor to clear him to start running, and Lowe will start running. I think beginning tomorrow on the field, tomorrow or Monday, he'll be on the field running. So.
What if you made of just kind of what it seemed to be a higher increase in penalty kicks around the league this year?
I don't know. I mean, I don't pay attention to that. So until you just said it now, I couldn't have told you whether it was up or down. I just think referees are calling it sometimes a little bit tighter in the box. And some of the penalties, I don't know. Embellishment is still a concern at times.
When you have two guys away, last World Cup cycle, you guys had Kufo, that fans were watching, but he wasn't quite here yet, and then signed Alvaro afterwards. Is there kind of, as a growing brand, kind of a gain that you get from saying we have two guys kind of there?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great for our club to have two players there. I mean, we're not Bayern Munich or Paris Saint-Germain where we're gonna, in the tens or in the dozens of players away on World Cup duty. But, when you compare us to clubs in our confederation in CONCACAF, we're doing as well as anybody. And so to have two players at the World Cup is fantastic, and I think it's especially great for the club to have somebody like DeAndre Yedlin there, who's come through our academy system and come through the youth program here, and is really the first homegrown kid since the academies have been started with MLS that's going to a World Cup. And I think that's something that we can be proud of in Seattle, because we started our academy after some other teams had already started theirs, and to already produce a player who is able to get to the World Cup, I think speaks well of what we're doing with the academy.
Do you think Dempsey's been here long enough to where the city can kind of claim him as their own? Maybe if you signed him in March or whatever, and he's only been here for a couple months, it's a little bit harder. But
no, Clint's here, lock, stock, and barrel. He's our guy. I mean, he's committed to our team, and he's committed to the city. He enjoys it here. I know in my talks with him, I mean, he's really having a good time in Seattle in terms of he likes the city. Likes what the city has to offer, and and he's committed to our club. And some guys can be with the club for 5-6 years and they're not truly committed, and other guys, they wear their hearts on their sleeve, and that's the way Clint is. And Clint is the kind of guy, he made his commitment to Seattle when he signed, and he's locked in.
RSL's missing a couple World Cup guys, maybe an injury or two. Can you talk about their stout back four? I mean, their defense is still their defense and the strength of their team.
Yeah, it's still a strength of their team, and obviously Borchers has been there a lot of years, for them, and still, down the middle, Grabavoy and Morales have been there, and you look at the other two guys, Beltran. So Beltran, Wingard, and Borchers have really been together for a while. So it's only, Schuler, who's new, and they feel he's their starter, although he's missed at times with injury, and they've played some other guys there. But, they're really a pretty consistent back five normally. Ramondo's replaced right now by a goalkeeper, but those three guys have a good understanding with each other, and they've played a lot of years together now.
But that goalkeeper has come up big the last couple of games too. Ramondo's obviously Ramondo, but can you speak to the goalkeeper also, Antonelli?
Well, he's done well. He's done well. He's come in and he's made some big saves. Nobody's like Nick in terms of distribution with his feet in our league. So, but he's not trying to be Nick in goal. He's being himself, and he's played well.
Okay, thanks.